What if I told you the life you dream about isn't waiting for you in the future? It's being built by what you do today. Right now, let me ask you something honestly. How often do we wait for a big moment to change our life? We think one day everything will click, one day we'll feel ready, one day we'll take that massive step and everything will transform. But the truth is, that day doesn't build your future. This day does. Right now, this moment, the small, quiet decisions you're making today are silently shaping the life you will live tomorrow. Most people underestimate the power of daily choices because they seem too small to matter. Waking up a little earlier, choosing to focus instead of scrolling, finishing that task even when you don't feel like it, saying no to distractions, saying yes to growth. These don't feel like life-changing decisions in the moment. They don't come with applause or recognition, but what you don't see is how these small actions stack up. Day after day, choice after choice, they begin to build something powerful, your identity, your discipline, your future. Think about it like this. Your life right now is a reflection of what you have been doing daily, not what you dreamed about, not what you planned, but what you actually did. And that's not meant to discourage you. That's meant to empower you. Because if your life is built by your daily choices, then you have control. You don't need to wait for the perfect opportunity. You don't need a miracle. You just need to win your days. And here's where it gets real. Every single day you are casting a vote for the person you are becoming. When you choose discipline over comfort, you vote for strength. When you choose focus over distraction, you vote for success. When you choose growth over excuses, you vote for a better future. But when you delay, when you ignore what needs to be done, when you settle for easy, you are also voting. You are choosing a different version of your life. The problem is, most people don't realize this until it's too late. They look back and wonder how they ended up where they are. But it wasn't one big mistake. It was hundreds of small choices repeated over time. In the same way, success is not one big breakthrough. It's built quietly, daily, through consistent action. So stop waiting for a dramatic change. Stop waiting to feel ready. You don't need to change your whole life overnight. You just need to take control of today. Make better choices today. Be more intentional today. Show up with purpose today. Because when you start winning your days, you start winning your life. Your destiny is not written in one moment. It is written in what you choose to do today. You don't need a complete life overhaul to transform your future. You need a few small habits repeated daily with consistency. That's where real change begins. But here's the truth most people struggle to accept. Small habits feel too small to matter. They don't look impressive. They don't feel powerful. And because of that, people ignore them, chasing something bigger, faster, more dramatic. But the irony is, those small habits are exactly what create the big transformation you're looking for. Think about it. No one becomes successful overnight. No one builds discipline in a single day. It's built quietly, in the background, through simple actions repeated again and again. Reading a few pages every day, waking up on time consistently, choosing to stay focused for just a little longer, putting in effort when no one is watching. These habits don't scream success, but they build it. The problem is we often rely on motivation to take action. We wait to feel like it. But motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. Some days you feel strong. Some days you don't. If your progress depends on how you feel, you will never stay consistent. And without consistency, there is no transformation. That's why habits matter more than motivation. Habits don't ask how you feel. They simply ask, did you show up today or not? And when you start showing up every single day, something powerful begins to happen. Those small actions start stacking. One day doesn't feel like much, but 10 days, 30 days, 90 days later, you're not the same person anymore. Your mindset changes. Your discipline grows. Your confidence builds. Not because of one big effort, but because you kept going when it felt small, when it felt boring, when it felt like nothing was happening. This is where most people quit. They stop because they don't see immediate results. They think it's not working. But what they don't understand is that transformation is happening beneath the surface. Just like a seed growing underground, you won't see it at first. But if you stay consistent, if you trust the process, eventually it breaks through. Small habits are powerful because they are sustainable. Anyone can go hard for one day, but not everyone can stay consistent for weeks, months, years. And that's the difference between people who wish for change and people who actually achieve it. They don't rely on bursts of energy. They rely on systems, on routines, on habits that carry them forward even on their worst days. So don't underestimate the small things. Don't ignore the daily actions that seem insignificant, because those are the exact things shaping your future. The life you want isn't built by doing something big once. It's built by doing something small, every single day, without fail. Consistency in small habits is what turns ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, who am I becoming? Not who you want to be, not who you say you are, but who you are becoming through your daily actions. Because the truth is, your identity is not built by your intentions, it's built by what you repeatedly do. Every action you take, every habit you follow, every decision you make on a daily basis is shaping the person you are turning into. We like to believe that identity is something fixed, something we just are. But in reality, identity is flexible. It evolves. And the biggest influence on that evolution is repetition. What you do once might not define you, but what you do every day, that becomes you. If you constantly delay things, you become someone who procrastinates. If you consistently push yourself, you become disciplined. If you keep choosing comfort over growth, you slowly become someone who avoids challenges. This is why habits are so powerful. Not just because they change your results, but because they change your identity. And once your identity shifts, everything else follows. When you see yourself as someone who is focused, you act differently. When you believe you are disciplined, you make stronger choices. When you identify as someone who shows up no matter what, excuses lose their power over you. But here's the challenge. Many people try to change their life without changing their identity. They set big goals, they make plans, they get excited, but deep down, they still see themselves the same way. And that creates conflict, because your actions will always try to match your identity. If you see yourself as lazy, you will act in ways that confirm that belief. If you see yourself as someone who quits, you will eventually quit. So the real question is not just what do you want to achieve, it's who do you need to become to achieve it. Because once you answer that, the path becomes clear. You don't need to chase big results immediately. You just need to start acting like the person you want to be, even in the smallest ways. Start showing up like someone who is disciplined. Start making choices like someone who is focused. Start taking action like someone who is serious about their future. It won't feel natural at first. It might even feel uncomfortable. But that's how change begins. With repetition, those actions become habits. And those habits slowly rewrite your identity. And one day, without even realizing it, you'll look back and see that you are no longer the same person. The things that once felt difficult will feel normal. The discipline you struggled with will feel natural. The confidence you wished for will be part of who you are. Not because of one big moment, but because of what you chose to do repeatedly. You don't become what you want. You become what you repeatedly do. Let's be honest for a moment. Most people don't fail because they tried and lost. They fail because they slowly stopped trying. Not in one dramatic moment. Not in a big visible way, but quietly, through neglect. Through the small things they chose to ignore every single day. And that's the dangerous part about neglect. It doesn't feel like failure in the moment. It feels comfortable. It feels easy. It feels harmless. But over time, it becomes costly. Skipping one day doesn't seem like a big deal. Delaying one task feels normal. Choosing comfort over effort just this once feels justified. But what happens when just this once turns into a pattern? What happens when the small things you ignore today become the very things that define your future? Because neglect doesn't stay small, it grows. It compounds, just like good habits do, but in the opposite direction. Think about it. The life you don't want is also built daily. It's built through procrastination, through distractions, through avoiding what needs to be done. Every time you delay something important, you're not just postponing it, you're training yourself to avoid responsibility. Every time you choose the easy path, you're strengthening a habit that keeps you stuck. And slowly, without even realizing it, you drift further away from the life you actually want. The hardest part is that you won't notice it immediately. There's no alarm that goes off. There's no clear sign that says you're losing your potential. It happens quietly. Weeks turn into months, months turn into years. And one day you wake up and realize you're not where you thought you would be. Not because you weren't capable, but because you didn't take consistent action. And that's where regret is born. Not from failure, but from inaction. From knowing you had the time, the ability, the opportunity, but you didn't use it. That feeling, that realization, it's heavy. And the truth is, it doesn't come from one big mistake. It comes from the accumulation of small, ignored actions. But here's the powerful part. You can break that cycle. You can choose differently starting today. You can stop ignoring what matters. You can stop telling yourself, I'll do it later, and start saying, I'll do it now. Because every time you take action, even when you don't feel like it, you're pushing back against that pattern of neglect. It won't always be easy. In fact, most days it won't feel exciting at all. But that's where growth happens. In those quiet moments, when you choose discipline over comfort, when you do what needs to be done even when no one is watching, that's how you protect your future from regret. Because the truth is simple. What you ignore today will eventually demand your attention tomorrow, and by then, it might cost you far more than you were willing to give. Let me tell you something most people don't want to hear. Motivation is not enough. It feels good, it gets you started. It gives you that temporary push, but it doesn't last. One day you wake up feeling inspired, ready to change your life, and the next day that feeling is gone. And if your actions depend on that feeling, your progress will always be inconsistent. That's why so many people start strong but never finish, because they rely on motivation instead of discipline. Discipline is different. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't ask for perfect conditions. It doesn't wait for the right mood. Discipline simply shows up every day, again and again, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when you don't see immediate results. And that's why discipline is the bridge between where you are right now and the life you dream about. Think about your goals for a moment. The life you want, the success you imagine, the person you hope to become. None of that is out of reach, but there's a gap between your current reality and that vision. And that gap is not closed by wishing, planning, or waiting. It's closed by consistent action. By doing the work daily, regardless of how you feel. That's what discipline does. It carries you across that gap step by step. And here's the truth. Discipline is built in the moments you feel like quitting. It's easy to take action when everything is going well. It's easy to stay focused when you feel motivated. But real discipline is tested when you're tired, when you're distracted, when things aren't working as fast as you hoped. Those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments where you either move closer to your future or fall back into old patterns. The powerful thing about discipline is that it strengthens you over time. At first it feels difficult. You have to push yourself. You have to remind yourself why you started. But the more you do it, the stronger you become. What once felt hard becomes normal. What once required effort becomes part of your routine. And slowly, discipline stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like who you are. This is how real transformation happens. Not through bursts of motivation, but through steady, disciplined effort. It's not glamorous. It doesn't always feel exciting. But it works. It builds momentum. It builds confidence. And most importantly, it builds results. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for that perfect moment of motivation. It may come or it may not. But your future cannot depend on something so unreliable. Instead, commit to showing up daily. Commit to doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Because in the end, it's not motivation that will change your life. It's the discipline you choose to practice every single day. Every single day you wake up, you are given something incredibly powerful. A new chance, a fresh start, a clean page. And the truth is, most people underestimate just how valuable that is. They carry yesterday's failures, last week's mistakes, and last year's regrets into today, and because of that, they never fully step into the opportunity that today offers. But listen carefully. Your past does not control this day unless you allow it to. What you didn't do yesterday, what didn't work before, the times you lost focus, that's gone. It's finished. What matters now is what you choose to do with the next few hours in front of you. Because this day right here is where your future is being built. We often think we need a perfect moment to start again. A new week, a new month, a new year. But that's just another form of delay. The truth is, you don't need a special date to change your life. You just need a decision. A decision that today will be different. A decision that today, you will show up with more intention, more focus, more discipline than you did yesterday. And here's the powerful part. One good day can change everything. Not because it magically transforms your life overnight, but because it creates momentum. When you win one day, you prove to yourself that you can do it. You build confidence. You create a small sense of control, and that feeling pushes you to do it again the next day. And then again, and slowly that one good day turns into a streak. But it all starts with today, not tomorrow, not someday, today. And yes, some days will be harder than others. Some days you won't feel motivated. Some days things won't go as planned. But even on those days, you still have a choice. You can either let the day slip away, or you can take at least one step forward. Even a small step counts. Even a little progress matters, because it keeps you moving. It keeps you building. You don't need to be perfect every day. You just need to be intentional. Focus on doing something that moves you forward. Improve one thing. Complete one task. Make one better decision. Because when you stack those days together, when you build one good day on top of another, you create something powerful, a life that is built with purpose. This is how transformation really happens. Not in one big moment, but in the accumulation of days where you chose to show up. Days where you chose growth over comfort. Days where you chose action over excuses. So when you wake up tomorrow, don't see it as just another day. See it as an opportunity. A chance to build, to improve, to move closer to the life you want. Because your future is not something that suddenly appears. It is something you create, one day at a time. Win today, and you start winning your life. At the end of the day, the life you want isn't created someday. It's built daily, so start now and don't stop.